Good evening, fellow Kenyans. My name is Immaculate Irongo, the Secretary General of the Vibe Tribe. We as the Vibe Tribe are here to speak about the certain things happening in Kenya, and I will introduce my team. This is Yoshua Nyanjong, our National Coordinator. This is Anthony Karumba, our Attorney General. This is Ashley Nyakundi, our National Coordinator, and this is Francis Awino, our Presidential Aspirant. Fellow Kenyans, today I rise not only as a concerned citizen, but as a voice for millions who continue to hold on to hope even in the midst of uncertainty. Our beloved nation stands at a critical juncture at a time that calls for honesty, accountability, and unity in purpose. We are all feeling the weight of the economic strain. Just recently, Moody's, a globally respected credit rating agency, sounded a fresh and urgent alarm. Our foreign exchange reserves are under immense pressure, and we are now facing external debt repayments equivalent to 3% of our GDP annually. This is not just a statistic, it is a hard reality with implications for food prices, job creations, fuel costs, and the strength of our shilling. It is a signal that Kenya must rethink how it borrows, how it spends, and most importantly, how it protects the common mwananchi from economic hardships. Today, two critical laws were passed. This is the Social Protection Bill, and the second, the Conflict of Interest Bill. The first is to protect the interests of the vulnerable citizens who the state government and state have said they will be producing a certain amount of money for them monthly. And secondly, the other one is to protect us from corruption from the public offices. But legislation alone is not enough. Words on paper must become reality in the people's lives. That is why we are very shocked when we see the ODM party trying to have a dialogue with the national government on how they will fight for the common mwananchi on matters of devolution and matters of development and matters of fellow young citizens on terms of job employment. These talks must be transparent, they must be driven by principle, not by politics, and they must deliver tangible outcomes that can be felt in the grassroots level, from Turkana to Kisumu, to Kisii, to Mombasa, everywhere in Kenya. Fellow citizens, Kenya is hurting, but Kenya is not broken. We have weathered the great storms and emerged stronger. We are people of resilience, of resolve, and of deep faith in our future. That is why, as Vibe Tribe, we will hold our leaders accountable. We will extend our hands to building Kenya, to building the Kenya we deserve, and we will let the voice of every Kenyan, young, old, employed, job-seeking, rural, urban, be heard in shaping this moment. For in the end, this is our country, and its destiny is ours to write. May God bless you, and may God bless Kenya. Vibe Tribe?
One nation.
Vibe Tribe?
One nation.
One tribe,
One nation.
one tribe,
One nation.
fellow Kenyans, our comrades in struggle, and fellow youths. Today, we stand in front of you, not just as a politician, but as a concerned voice of this nation. Us as Vibe Tribe, for a very long time, we have seen young people being used by politicians as voting machines. Yet, after voting, us as young people, we are being subjected to unemployment, injustices, and police brutality. As Vibe Tribe, we are telling the government that this time we won't allow our young people in this nation to be used as a voting machine. Because as Vibe Tribe, we are organizing and we are calling all concerned Kenyans and youths to join this movement. Because as Vibe Tribe, we have seen and identified where young people and their potential can be used in this nation. Lastly, as I finish, I want to tell the nation that us as Vibe Tribe, we are really concerned. As young people, we are really concerned about our future, because this government promised us that education is the key to success. Yet, after being educated, graduated, and now when we go to seek jobs, we find that the only key that can open those jobs is nepotism, corruption, and tribalism. And now youths are being employed on the basis of tribalism, nepotism, and corruption. Our concerns as young people, that the government that promised us heaven, now today the same government has no alternative to give youth, and it's claiming that it's not the first time the government has no job for the young people of this nation. I want to tell you, Mr. President, when you came out to the street, you promised the young people that you have walked around the world and you will find jobs. So if we give you an opportunity, you will give us jobs. You have been promising, promise after promise. Every day if you wake up, you give us promises. As young people, we are tired. Lastly, we want to tell one Raila Amolo Odinga that as members of Vibe Tribe, we are against this betrayal conclave that you are planning. Youth are agitated because since 2007 we have had several dialogues, but all the discussion always end up when the political class and the people who are reaping big. As young people, we won't allow you to win us again. As Vibe Tribe, we are against that dialogue, and we are telling other young people that the political class is organizing for self-preservation, not to serve the common mwananchi. And we won't allow that again, because we have been hoodwinked for a very long time. As Vibe Tribe, we are against it. Vibe Tribe,
one nation.
One nation.
One tribe.
One nation.
One tribe.
Vibe Tribe.
One nation.
Vibe Tribe.
One nation.
One tribe.
One nation.
As a concerned Kenyan citizen, I stand to voice the frustrations shared by many. We are burdened by high cost of living, rising taxation, record levels of unemployment, and poor healthcare system. Education is becoming less accessible, and corruption continues to undermine our trust in the leadership. We demand transparency, accountability, and policies that reflect the real needs of the people. It is time for the government that listens, acts, and restores dignity in every Kenyan. We don't need a government that listens more to profits than to the cries of its people. This country belongs to the people, not to the powerful few. We demand real change, we demand real leadership and future where youths are empowered and not exploited. One tribe,
one nation.
All right. One tribe,
one nation.
One tribe,
one nation.
Fellow Kenyans, today we come to you with a lot of agony, with a lot of worries, and with a lot of questions in heart. Good people, we have no other nation except Kenya. We are born in Kenya, raised in Kenya, and everything we do, including the education system, health, and everything else, we get it from Kenya. Kenya is our motherland. Kenya is our dependent. The child born and raised in Samburu, in Kisii, in Murang'a, in Nairobi, they know no other home except Kenya. To these leaders that we are used to, the despots and their classes, they have set it. If you destroy our nation because some of you got dual citizenships, where do you want the children of the poor to go? You came to us in 2022 You called us hustlers. You called us mama bogas, boda riders, and you said, let us join hands and form the government of the people. Now today, what we are seeing is not the government of the people, but a government that serves the interest of a few and leaves back the majority of Kenyans and the poor people. Now the bills and every discretion you're making in the offices that we sent you is just but to strangulate and kill the child of a poor man. During your times, some of you in those big positions, you came and told us that you had a dream when you were chicken sellers, that one day you will lead the nation. You had a dream. And the nation and the leaders of those times gave you an opportunity, a good environment to dream and to become. Now, why do you want to make it so difficult for the young people of Kenya not to have the same privilege like you had? Through this, we as the young people came together 2024 in the month of June. And we sang in the spirit of oneness and togetherness as the people born and raised the children of this nation of Kenya. We are tired of this status quo and enough is enough. We said it clearly, but your response was just but brutal, vicious, and coming to us with a lot of anger, killing the very many innocent young people, children of mothers and fathers who voted for you. Look, Boniface Kariuki was just a mask seller. And the mask seller, the same government that told us about hustling, turned this hustle into criminal activity. Now, you called us criminals, you called us terrorists. Good people, when we were giving you the votes, we were your darlings. Now we have turned to become criminals. But we want to tell you, you want to come out and take advantage of the struggle of the young people for that liberation through some of you that we have always known to be the senior in these political deceits and the politics of division and the politics of, you prioritize your own interest, but you hoodwink majority and you take advantage because you have an influence. And Kenya, this is a time to reflect and ask ourselves, is this the nation we want to have? Where the debt is choking our economy, but the burden is coming to the people. And as Kenyans, we don't have the right to ask the question of where are you getting this money from, what are the terms, and what are the securities, because this is our money. You don't expect us to pay money that we don't know how it was taken. Now, good people, when these people who purports to fight for the people, likes of these broad-based old brothers, comes and tells Kenyans that we need to come together and talk so that we can solve the problems of the nation, where were you when things got to where they are? And that is why we have reached to a point as young people, and we have said that if we need a change, and we have come out clearly many times that we need a change, and we cannot see this change, it's until we become strategic, it's until we make our voices a voice of reason and purpose in terms of bringing the good governance that we have been fighting for. It seems this regime cannot bring us the good governance that we've been asking for. They cannot end corruption, because now it's about the leaders versus the leaders defending themselves, bringing bills to favor themselves. That is why you can allocate to your offices a lot of money, billions of shillings, but when you come to the poor people, you tell them there is no money for education, for free education. Now, Kenyans, if you don't know, we are like orphans. And until we come together and ask ourselves, with the young people, our mothers, our fathers have fought, but they have not won. And this time round, just like the children of Israel, how they cried to God due to afflictions of Pharaoh, Kenya is in crisis. Kenya is crying. Kenya is bleeding, and the young people, we got to respond to this. And we cannot respond to this without a structure, without a plan, and without unity. That is why we, the Vibe Tribe, have come together to say, good people, let us now organize ourselves, let us now restructure, and let us now program and restore the hope to the hopeless. And we want to tell you, the reason why these leaders have been taking advantage of the Gen Z movement is because they have seen for the long time, we are leaders, we are tribalists. Now this time we want to tell you, all our counties, all the tribes in Kenya, let us join hands and become one tribe, and this is what we are calling Vibe Tribe. One nation,
One tribe.
one tribe,
One nation.
one tribe,
One nation.
Through these good people, we will be in a position to fight and bring and build together the future we want, because we have realized a government that shows its back to its citizen, it is worse than colonialist. Thank you very much. Let me now welcome our team leader, one and only Francis Awino. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Vibe Tribe,
One nation.
Vibe Tribe,
One nation.
Vibe Tribe,
One nation.
members of the Fourth Estate, fellow Kenyans, good evening. Today is a very sad day to us because we have seen these old people moving around, trying to say that we have a dialogue. And that this nation, where this nation is, that people need to sit down so that we can have intergenerational conman game or conman grave. We are saying this as the young people, our parents back in the villages, our parents in town, as the leader of Vibe Tribe, as the leader of Gen Z, they have sent me to tell the old guys that no one needs a dialogue. That this is a story that has started way back from 1997. And for the past, like 30 years, there have been a dialogue. So the problem we are having right now, it is not a problem of dialogue. It is a problem of making a system work. And if these people who are in leadership, they feel like there is something wrong in this country, there is something wrong in the society, there is something wrong in the leadership, it is something they could have done a long time ago because they have been in leadership the longest time ever. So I'm telling you, good people, that we won't face any kind of dialogue in any way. Let them call it intergenerational, let them call it any kind of name. But we are saying, we as young people, we just want to see these old people moving out of government so that as young people, we can build this nation afresh. One tribe,
One nation.
one tribe,
One nation.
We saw one of us in the US when he went to the US. We saw him being challenged by a Gen Z. And that Gen Z is from the same tribe as him. And I can remember a week ago, we said that by the time that person comes from the US, the old guys in the US, sit with him down and try to advise him that we don't want tribalism. But I'm very happy that a Gen Z in the US saw that and decided to tell that guy that in this regime that we are in, we don't need any tribalism. And that is what is killing this nation. So we are telling them, 2027, in case they survive, because me, I don't see them surviving by 2027. Either mushikane venye mnataka. We are telling you, shikaneni venye mnataka, but in this country, and the young people of this nation, we need a system that is working, and we need a system that is conducive for everyone. Na tunawaambia hivi, hata mkitapakaa wapi ama mfanye nini, sisi hatutaki dialogue. Hata mfanye nini, hata mtuitie nani, hatutaki dialogue. Sisi wote tuliona hawa majamaa wakizunguka wakipiga magoti chini, wakiambia Mungu, wakituambia kuwa wako na Mungu. Tuliona wakizunguka masokoni wakiambia mama mboga kuwa wako na mama mboga. Tuliona wakienda hadi kwa mama wenye wanachoma mahindi wakisema tuko pamoja. Sasa niwaulizeni, hii dialogue yenye mnapanga usiku saa 9 usiku, hiyo ndio dialogue yenye tutaamini kweli? Vibe Tribe,
One nation.
Vibe Tribe,
One nation.
So tunasema hizo adakadabra zenyu za saa 10 usiku, saa 9 usiku. Naendeleeni kupanga huko. Sisi kama vijana hatutaki dialogue. Pia tumeona mwenzetu mwenye tulikuwa tunafikiria ati ndiye anatupigania. Mwenye tulikuwa tunafikiria ati yeye ndiye kwa nyuma yetu, at least tukilemewa kidogo anaweza ongea. Juzi tumeona akifanya press akisema kuwa wao wako nyuma ya President William Samoei Ruto na wanamsupport to the latter. Na tuko na furaha kuwa wazee washajirealize. Wazee washajijua na wameamua kwenda mpande yao. Na sisi tunawaambia nyinyi kama wazee mjipange. Kama mtasurvive by 2027, sisi vijana ndio wengi na tutamake sure tumewatoa kwa uongozi. Lakini sisi kama vijana, hii Kenya haiwezi endelea hivyo. Lazima tutajaribu kuleta cure yenye itafanya Kenya ipone for the next like 50 years. Vibe Tribe,
One nation.
Vibe Tribe,
One nation.
na pia niwakumbuke tena niwakumbushe hivi. 2027 farasi zitakuwa mbili. Farasi ya kwanza itakuwa ni hao watu wazee na tunaona wamejipanga na wanaendelea. Na tunaomba huyo mzee mwingine mwenye ako US akitoka akifika hapa Kenya ajoin wazee wake waendelee kwa wao ndio wamekuwa kwa serikali. Sisi kama vijana tutakuwa farasi ya pili na tuta make sure tumeonana na hao wanaume humundu. Na ndio maana tunawaambia hivi, fanyeni lolote lenye mnataka. Sisi kama vijana tumejipanga na ndio maana walisema wananiamini na wakaniweka kama kiongozi wao ndio niweze kuonana na hao wanaume kwa sababu hakuna mahali wanaweza tupeleka. Na pia na appeal kwa mayouth wenzangu wenye hawajatuona wajaribu kutujoin kwa sababu hao wanaume ni mlima. Hao wazee ni mlima. Tujaribu kuvuka hii mto tukiwa sisi wote kama vijana kwa sababu hii Kenya ni yetu sisi wote na lazima tuiponye sisi wote. Mungu abariki Kenya. Mungu abariki wote. Tutazidi kushughulikiana na kuzungumza pamoja. Asanteni sana.
Thank you.
Vibe Tribe,
One nation.
Vibe Tribe,
One nation.
One tribe,
One nation.
One tribe.
One nation.
Asanteni sana.